On this week's episode, we have a new beta feature featuring live milestones on rides showing up on the feed, and new badges for running, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 113 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I'm joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hello, hello. How you doing, Amanda?
I am doing great. I am getting there, John. I'm almost back to normal. So I guess...
Almost back in the normal routine.
Yes. I have a couple days to go before I'm kind of cleared to go full force. But I am feeling good. I started back into working out, and it feels great. It feels really, really great. So, I missed it. So I'm glad to be. I'm glad to
have
be
you back on the leaderboard.
Thank you. It's been fun. It has been fun. Yeah, I got to spend a couple days in the studio last weekend. Got to run with your girl and
Rebecca.
Yes.
Which girl?
Yeah. All right, John. Rebecca gave her a big hug from you. She was so amazing in person. Oh my goodness. It was late.
That was the
Friday
first time
night.
you met her?
First time I met her.
Oh, okay.
First time I met her. Remember when I saw her in Soho and I didn't want to disturb her, and then
you weren't sure.
If it was her or
missed
whatever.
connection.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what? I waited till the end, and she
the end of the line.
Yeah.
And that's one of my moves too, so I don't have to worry about anybody waiting behind me.
Exactly. And we chatted for about 25 minutes. She was amazing.
Nice.
I was like, "Get out of here! You need to go." It was late. It was late on Friday. Got to meet some amazing members. It was so fun. When people recognize me in my D-list celebrity status. Of course, everyone's way more excited about meeting you, but that's okay. I'm happy to be. I'm happy
There's
to
difference of opinion there. Yeah.
For some, but it was fun. It was a fun weekend, and it was just two classes. I just did Rebecca's run, which I really walked, and then I did Mariana's yoga, which is actually my pick of the week this week because it was fantastic. Your playlist. I guess we both picked that as a pick of the week this week.
I'll let you have it. I don't like to share.
No, you don't. We know. we know. Well, and you all good? Had a good week?
Yeah. The same, business as usual here. There's no snow on the ground. It's very wet and gray. But things are good on my end.
Excellent.
Can't complain.
Excellent. Well, I guess, John, why don't we get right into it? Folks, we always like to remind you before we get started with the news, how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yep, and you can always listen to us. We're on all podcast platforms. Just search Pelo Buddy TV. Be sure to subscribe if for some reason you aren't already, and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss an update. And we always love to see those great reviews that we receive, those 5-star reviews that we love to read. And also we really appreciate the feedback that we receive from you. So keep that coming, and it is greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. And of course, folks, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as getting our newsletter. So I know that Chris had just put out, if you are interested in getting the newsletter sent to you once a week, that is another alternative. But don't do the newsletter in lieu of listening to the show or watching us. We still want you to come on and get to see us. But in any case, for all of those things, just search Pelo Buddy, follow us on those platforms, and you won't miss anything. But now, John, I guess let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
Well, we've got a new beta feature that has rolled out to some folks on their Peloton bikes at home, which are milestones on live classes. So the latest Peloton bike software update includes this beta feature for some members that allows them to view other members' milestones on live classes. So members who are part of this beta who have received this software update, which it is a software update that's pushed to the bike, you'll now see milestones populate in that feed box just the same way you would on on-demand classes, where you see it says so-and-so's leaderboard name hit 500 classes or is on a roll in some sort of streak. You'll now see those milestones if you have this beta feature on live classes. And some folks had reported just this past week seeing this. And I had received a couple of messages wondering if this was some new feature because I hadn't seen it, but some other folks have been experiencing it and they thought it was some sort of, glitch, or they weren't sure. They were kind of puzzled by it. And I was like, you sure you weren't on an encore or an on-demand class? Because it was the first I had heard of it. But apparently it has been a long requested feature for some members, and it appears to be finally rolling out to some folks with this latest software update. I noticed after I did my Cody ride on Thursday afternoon, I did get a software update, so I'm not sure if that possibly might be it on my bike, but I guess I'll wait and see on the next live class that I end up doing. Peloton has not really shared any details about it. They haven't shared how slow the rollout for the feature will be or when all members can expect to receive it. They did, like I said, it did require a software update, though, who did receive the feature. So, sound off if you've noticed this, if you've received this update, and what you think of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's cool. And sorry, I think you said just on the bike right now, right? Not on the tread yet.
Yeah, just on the bike
from what
and
you're saying.
the Bike Plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think, though, that they would eventually add it to the other hardware, but right now, just on the bike.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, folks, if you love badges, and we know that you all love badges, it looks like Peloton has added a new personal record badge for rides on the bike and runs on the tread. So members have been reporting that they've seen new badges on the recent achievement section of their profiles. The first badge is titled 1K and is being awarded for breaking a 1K personal record. It means that you'll receive this badge when you achieve a new fastest time traveling 1 kilometer or 0.62 miles on the tread. There also seems to be a new 5K PR badge. Members have also reported a badge titled 1 mile, which is being awarded for breaking a 1 mile personal record. At this time, these badges are only appearing under the recent achievement section of the profile homepage and are not appearing in the standard full achievements page that contains all the badges that you can see that you've ever earned. They actually don't even show up when you view your completed workout as well. So literally at this point, all you're seeing them is at the bottom of your, of that one page. If you go into the workout you've had done, it's not popping up there yet. I'm sure that they will probably populate in there, but for right now, they're not. Again, though, nothing official from Peloton. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see if they're going to say anything or what we kind of see manifesting over the next few weeks.
Yeah. Well, this past Thursday, the new day for when classes would go live to book for the next 6 weeks out did go live, and there were additional days added. As we had reported last week, they were going to be changing the day from Monday to Thursday at noon Eastern when you could book classes, studio classes, and that you could also book for beginning in February. They would be adding some classes for Thursdays and Mondays at both studios. And were also limitations set. As we had reported, you could only do, I think it was 4 classes total for the weekend, and Thursday through Monday counts as the weekend. And then I think, there was a daily limit of 2?
2.
2, I want to say. I did notice on the London schedule for PSL, they did add Thursday the 16th of February, but there was no Monday the 20th. And then they didn't add a Thursday the 23rd of February, but they did add Monday the 28th to the schedule. So I don't know if they're going to be adding those additional days or if they're going to be alternating and not just doing both Thursdays and Mondays every weekend and just doing one or the other every other week.
Yeah, John. So I think what I'm hearing is that there may not be a limit in London. So PSL may be a little bit more lenient.
Restrictive.
I think I think that PSNY will be restrictive, but I think that from again we've got the German instructors that are now doing some of the English classes for live members, and I think that they really want to look at filling those up. So at this point, you may be able to get into a few more classes if you were going to be in the London studio and wouldn't have that restrictive two a day or 4 for the weekend. So let us know though if anybody has anything different. We'd love to know that. But just from kind of what we're hearing, that could be could be something. I do want to add to that though. So 2 things I want to add to that. One is there should be no live classes at 12 o'clock on a Thursday. There was a Rebecca hike and there was a Jeffrey walk. And if Peloton want us to stay safe, then they need to look at changing the schedule. So that's number 1, because I was I was on my tread doing Jeffrey's walk with my laptop and my phone in my hand because I wanted to book classes.
I'm not even going to try to multitask. It's not even worth the stress and the headache, especially when you're sitting in that waiting room, actually waiting to get in to book your classes. It's just not worth the aggravation because you can't even focus on enjoying the class. I'm curious to ask. All right, so you obviously went on today and you booked classes, and I'm dying to hear what other folks have to say. So I did not go into a queue today. I was right in there, and I was on both my phone and my computer. And there was no queue for me. So that was the first thing that I'm curious to know if there were a couple people that I had been messaging that didn't go into a queue either. And then, I don't know, John, they got to sort this out because, I was right in there. I logged right on, I was right into the classes as soon as they were loaded at 12. I could not get into classes. Well, you were booking PSNY. I was booking PSL, and I was on 2 different iPads, and I got in. It gave me the time, how much time I had to wait, and I got in at about 12:09 Eastern time on both iPads. And then I made the mistake. I had a whole bunch of credits still in my account. I didn't realize I had to buy credits for PSL. They were different. So I really screwed up there. So I had to buy all these. Buy all these additional credits, which is super tedious because you have to input all your information, your billing address. Nothing is stored or saved on Peloton's end, so that's super annoying. But I really wish they would streamline that process a little bit.
They got to streamline the process.
5 packs or. There's a lot of things they could do to make it easier.
100%. They got to figure out that aspect. As you said, get the packs. Give folks the opportunity of getting a bit of a discount if you buy 10 classes or whatever. The refreshing of it, they got to figure out that back end of it. You're seeing classes that say book, you go on them, it says the class isn't available. You don't then get to waitlist the class if you want to. It was so unbelievably frustrating. And I think I know what I'm doing. So I got to tell you.
Yeah, it's not your first rodeo.
I know what I'm doing. So I just don't understand what's going on. The other thing that they did, which I noticed, was that they loaded the classes for the new weekend and then only went back in and filled in those Mondays and Thursdays. So I actually thought that because I am going to be in New York in February and wanted to book in. I've got some classes for the weekend and wanted to book in for the Thursday, excuse me. And I thought, they never loaded that. They never loaded for that day. So I'm curious to know what others have to say. But it's still a very frustrating process, and they got to figure that out. But Peloton, Jen, Kara, if you're listening, please put in a good word here, and tell them that they're going to relook at their schedule. Seriously, I think it's I think it's only fair, 12:30. Do a 12:30 class on a Thursday, but doing it at 12 is just. If you want us to be on live classes, then change the schedule.
Folks, I will say, folks in the UK are lucky that they don't have to deal. Locals in London, that they don't have to deal with the shit show of trying to book at PSNY, because it's way easier to book at Peloton Studios London compared to New York. So be grateful over there across the pond.
I am very excited for you. I am so excited that you are going and you are going to be in London. I'm just, I wish I could be there with you. But that is so exciting, John. So yeah, you got to let everybody know. I'm sure you have. Let everybody know that you're coming. Kenny Bania will be in town. Oh my God, if there was hoopla for Amanda Siegel, I can't even imagine what's going to happen when Kenny Bania walks in through the door. I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right.
Moving on.
So moving on. Folks, for those of you that love Pilates, there are now going to be it looks like on January 23rd, Peloton are actually going to be launching a new Peloton Pilates program led by Kristin McGee. So it's going to be entitled Build Your Inner Strong, and it'll be the third new program to launch this year. So back on January 9th, we spoke about it, and Chris shared that Peloton had released the Straight to Your Core program with Rebecca Kennedy and the Stronger You program with Ben Aldis, and now we will have a specific program for Pilates. We're not sure yet as to how many weeks the new Pilates program will be or how many classes will be included, but definitely something for folks to look out for on Monday when it is dropped. The other programs are both each 4 weeks, so I'm assuming it will possibly be a 4-week program as well. Also, a reminder that members will now be able to take live Pilates classes at PSNY on Fridays at 9 a.m. So that was actually the only thing I was able to, not even book, but at least waitlist. I waitlisted for Kristin's class on the 10th, I think it was the 10th, because that was loaded in there. So I'm waitlisted. I'd love to be able to get in. I'm not a big Pilates person. I prefer yoga, but I have never worked out with Kristin, so I'd love to be able to be in a class with her. So,
and there's only six spots
There's
in there?
seven mats.
Because it's kind of funny when you were in the studio for that live yoga class with Mariana last weekend, and I was taking it live. The configuration was kind of funny. They're just lined up across from each other, and it's very kind of tight. You're it looks like you're right on top of each other in there. So
you are right on top of each other.
It just looks like a small little rectangle space.
It is. It's a very small space. There's 3 on one side and 4 on the other. And we did actually, 2 of us kept banging each other every now and again. The guy next to me, who was just adorable, Pelo Buddy, if you're watching the show, I will give you a shout out. And we kept on knocking each other. So it was like, oh gosh. But yeah. So, nice to see a new Pilates program and that they're picking up on the Pilates modalities so much more.
Yeah, and segueing into yoga, Peloton has a brand new German language beginner yoga program available now from Nico Sarani. Peloton describes the program as new to yoga and don't know where to start. Roll out your mat and join Nico for this 1-week beginner program and learn how to kickstart your practice. And the beginner program for Peloton in German has a total of 8 classes. It's 1 week long. At the time of the write-up of the article on this on pelobuddy.com, you can join it from Peloton bikes, the tread, the digital app, or the Peloton website. Simply just browse to the programs area, find the beginner yoga with Nico program, and join it. The majority of the classes in the program do have English subtitles, so you're aware for those that don't speak German but still want to take it. And then for those who would like a beginner yoga program in English, you can find details on the 3-week beginner yoga program in English, also linked on the article for this on pelobuddy.com. There's 22 classes from Anna Greenberg, Aditi, and Kristin McGee. And it's listed there under programs.
Nice. So it looks like Alex Toussaint has been rather busy lately. Last week, we had shared that he collaborated with Puma on releasing new shoes. This past weekend, he shared that he's been working on writing a new book, which will come out in 2023. So the book will be published by Henry Holt & Company, and from what we understand, will be available on Amazon.com. The title of the book will be Achieve Your Greatness, and the release date is actually going to be October 10th, 2023. So an overview of what folks can expect in the book was the following. Finally, Alex gets off the bike to help readers activate their own greatness in every aspect of their lives. Part self-help, part memoir, Activate Your Greatness details Toussaint's mental and physical practices on and off the bike that have influenced his daily habits fueled by his motivation and that have ultimately contributed to his astronomical success. It shows readers how they can do the same. So this is amazing for Alex, and I'm so excited for him. It seems that this is becoming a trend now. Just last week, we spoke about Cody talking about doing his book. And
I know, and he so
Alex
casually just mentioned it in his podcast appearance. And I don't think a lot of people really caught wind of that. At least that I saw on social media, because he's made no mention of it himself, aside from in that interview. So I'm really looking forward to that. It sounds like maybe it's very early, because there's no pre-order yet for his book. So we don't really know where he is in the writing stage. But it sounds like he is writing or working with someone to write it or write it for him, as a lot of people do, autobiographies.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now there are quite a few of the instructors that have some literature out there for us to pick up.
Yeah. Well, Peloton has announced a virtual event with the majority of the Peloton row instructors, as well as teasing that live rowing classes should be starting soon. So members reported receiving an invite via email to an event called Get to Know Your Row Instructors virtual event, which is going to take place on January 31st at 12:30 Eastern. It's going to be hosted by Adrian, who will be chatting with Ash Pryor, Katie Wong, I think that's a typo there, Alex Karwoski. The only rowing instructor that will not be present at the event is Matt Wilpers. Most likely, I'm speculating because he's probably getting married around that time or is about to get married.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I wonder if it's because he was getting married.
He is having a winter marriage. I know it's coming up. We don't know a date, but I think it's right around that time. So that's most likely why he won't be there. But the event description mentions how this will be a conversation with the coaches as they prepare for their live classes in the studio. Peloton had previously said live rowing classes were expected to begin in early 2023, so they're on track, obviously, to make good on that. You can also register for the virtual event if you did not receive an email. We have a link on pelobuddy.com, but it's simply event.onepeloton.com, and you can find the RSVP page there, so you receive a link to watch it when it happens on the 31st. While it teases live rowing classes, it doesn't answer another question the community has very much been waiting on, which is when rowing classes might become available to Peloton members who don't have the Peloton row. A lot of folks, are angry about that, not having access to it. So hopefully we'll get some more clarification on that as well.
Yeah. I'm also curious to know how they're going to, if they're ever going to do live member classes. I just don't know where. We spoke about it last week, I believe. I don't know where they would, put rowers in the studio.
In the strength studio, one of the strength.
Yeah, that strength studio is small. You've been in there. You couldn't get more than about 2 or 3 in there.
I don't know. You put them right up against the stage there, and Bam.
I
there
get,
you have
okay.
it. I don't know.
Yeah, suppose so. And I suppose they could actually do it so that they're holding it back, so that they can lift them up when you're doing strength. I guess you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, or
bring
easily
them back down.
move them out of the way. Yeah, it's not like they're
I'm
big
not
treads.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully, I mean, pretty much we have every other modality with members in the studio. So hopefully, the rowing doesn't hopefully rowing doesn't get shortchanged that way.
Yeah. It was interesting. Both Alex and Katie were in the studio when I was there over the weekend. And, Katie was very friendly and she said hi to everybody. Alex kind of walked in and I felt bad because, the other coaches walk in and everybody really gets excited. And
I don't think
Alex
a lot of
walked in.
people probably realize who Alex
is.
is. He doesn't really do much on social media.
No.
He doesn't engage that much. So I don't think he's got really that recognizable a face yet.
I think you're right. So anyway, it was interesting though. Katie was lovely though, very, very sweet. But Alex just kind of did his thing and walked in. They actually had a row, they were all there for a meeting. But those were the only two. That I had seen. All right, folks, new week, new artist series. Kygo, a Norwegian DJ and music producer, is the latest featured artist. This series was launched on Wednesday and included 2 30-minute rides, one with Ben Aldous and one with Eric Jaeger in German, as well as a warm-up with Charlotte Wiedenbach in German. There was a walk plus run with Jocelyn Thompson-Rule and a run in German with Marcel Maurer. There was a 15-minute row with Adrian and a 30-minute power yoga flow with Aditi. So if you're looking for a party with some tropical house sounds music, definitely make sure that you jump on one of these modalities because Kygo's music is really a party and fantastic. So definitely something to look out for.
Nice. And Peloton has created their first flash challenge of the year, which is called the We Don't Quit Challenge. By the second Friday, they said in their social media post, by the second Friday in January, most people have given up on their resolutions, but not you. You stuck with it. Now let's push through it. Work out 7 days between January 16th and 16th and 23rd, rather, to earn your badge. There's some discrepancy on what is required to actually earn the badge. The badge page mentions working out for 7 days. However, some of Peloton's social media posts, like the one that we have on the pelobuddy.com write up on this story, seen from Peloton's Instagram, have mentioned simply needing 7 workouts in that time period to earn it. So it might be a little flexibility there for the badge hungry folks.
All right, I guess we'll have to look out for that. And we've mentioned over the past few weeks that the Peloton Tread is finally being released down under, and that our Australian friends, our Australian Pelo buddies, will be able to jump on the leaderboard on the hardware. But it actually looks like Peloton has quietly been selling the Tread ahead of their official launch, which is scheduled for next month. So from what we're hearing is that customers who call Peloton Australia may actually be able to purchase the Tread, even though it is not yet officially on sale. When folks reached out on social media and asked, the response, and there was a response from Peloton that said that they were wanting to ensure a smooth delivery experience, and that they are currently testing the system and delivery process with a small group of people. So if members wanted to be considered as part of the activity, they needed to contact the sales team. So definitely drop us a note and let us know if you're down under and you have received your Tread. But I think that we're seeing more and more people, with Australian hashtags coming onto the leaderboard, which is great.
Very cool. Well, last Tuesday, Peloton announced that Leslie Berland has been appointed as the new Chief Marketing Officer at Peloton. She will start in the new position effective January 18th. And she will be based out of the New York City headquarters and be a part of Peloton's leadership team. Prior to Peloton, Berland had several served various roles at Twitter most recently over the last 7 years, being the chief marketing officer there. She left Twitter this past November, around the same time that many other executives, employees were leaving the company when Elon Musk was taking over there as the new owner. So I'm not sure if she was part of the mass exodus or firings, but there was a lot of drama there at the time when Elon took the helm. But prior to Twitter, she had worked at American Express. Previously, Peloton's marketing team had been led by Dara Treseder, who left Peloton in September of last year to join Autodesk. According to her bio, Berland had been listed on Forbes' World's Most Influential CMOs list from 2017 to 2021 during her time at Twitter. And in 2022, she was inducted into the Forbes CMO Hall of Fame. So welcome, Leslie. You have your work cut out for you.
That's for sure.
Hit the ground running.
For sure. Exactly. All right. Well, the second quarter fiscal 2023 earnings call and webcast has been announced that it will be held on Wednesday, February the 1st at 8:30 a.m. So if you are interested in joining, you can access the call by phone, and you can head to the investor.onepeloton.com website to register and receive the link. And of course, we will have all the little tidbits from that earnings call on the show that following episode.
Yeah, waiting with bated breath on that one.
To see what's going.
Yeah. Well, you should check your local showroom if you know your local showroom is closing, or maybe if you don't know, maybe double check. But there is a 75 to 90% off apparel sale at a lot of Peloton showrooms that are closing this month. Based on the comments from the Pelo Buddy post when we first shared about this sale, the Shrewsbury, New Jersey location is participating in the sale, as well as the two locations that are closing in Florida, Coral Gables and Tampa, are having massive apparel sales. So if you are near one of those locations, or if you don't know if your local showroom is closing, I know the Troy, Michigan one definitely is, in Short Hills, New Jersey's definitely not closing, so they're not participating. But double check, because that's a deep, that's a fire sale.
It's definitely a fire sale. Yep, Bethesda, Maryland's closing. So that one, if folks are in the Bethesda area, I prefer the one in Virginia at Tyson's Corner.
That's
anyway.
Tyson's,
it's a beautiful showroom. So that one's staying around. I know that Aventura is staying around. But yeah, I guess that's a great way to pick up some deals. So for sure. Take a look. And then a very happy birthday to Cliff Dwenger, German cycling instructor, celebrated his birthday on Thursday. So happy birthday to Cliff. All right. And I guess, John, next up is Instructor in the News. And I will hit it off with Susie Chan. She has announced on Twitter that she will be a host at the National Running Show in Birmingham this weekend, January 21st and 22nd. This is the biggest community meetup of the year, interestingly enough. And it brings together speakers, technology, and best in nutrition. So if you want to meet up and do a meet and greet with Susie, and you are in the Birmingham area in the UK, then head on over there and register and go and take a look and chat. I remember, I think that Tony Sinkinson actually went last year and got to meet up with Susie, if I'm not mistaken. And she was so, kind of new in the running with Peloton. She had just joined a couple months, before that. So, and she's so lovely. And oh my God, she's so lovely in person. So, definitely head over there, this weekend if you guys can.
And Emma Lovewell, she will be a guest speaker at South by Southwest this year, which is the annual film and music festival in Austin, Texas, which is one of my favorite festivals when we lived in Austin for 9 years. But she will be a guest speaker at She Media on March 11th and 12th in Austin. Other notable speakers that will be included there is Katie Couric and Christy Turlington Burns. So if you're attending South by this year, or if you're an Austin local, be sure to check out Emma there. You can also purchase tickets. Emma shared on social media the event page, so it is, the public can attend. You don't need a fancy South by Southwest badge if you just want to go to that specific event and see Emma speak. So that's good to know.
Nice. And for anybody that was on live with Robin Arzon on Friday the 13th, you had a little surprise right in the front on Robin's pop punk ride. New Kids on the Block, Joey McIntyre was in studio. But what was even cooler is he was actually celebrating his 50th birthday. To me, that was even more bizarre. The thought of him being 50 was just crazy. He looks damn good, let me tell you.
He's the baby of the bunch. He was such a baby when they first were on the scene,
Isn't that crazy? I didn't get to see him. I was in the studio on Friday, and I was there but I was doing Rebecca's run. And by the time I was done and we did pictures and stuff, they had left already. But that was kind of cool. So anybody sitting next to him got to ride next to Joey McIntyre. And I know for some folks that was really fun. And I think, and as Robin said on her social media, it was definitely one of those like mind-blowing moments that she actually had him, riding in studio with her. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool.
I think she said, I remember watching the shout out. Did she say he's in town? He was in New York City for some sort of show that he's in.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah. They would, I want to say Madison Square Garden. No, I think that they did.
Was it a New Kids show?
I think so, because
I thought it was something theater. Oh, okay. I thought it was something theater related that he was in, that he was involved in.
Okay.
Okay.
But I do know, I saw on somebody's social media that he was on stage with some of the New Kids, New Kids on the Block members. But it may not have been correlated. I'm not sure.
It's a bummer it was a pop punk ride, It would have been fun had she thrown in a New Kids song.
Right.
I don't think this was planned very far in advance. So
I don't think so. Although they, interestingly enough, on Friday they were checking temperatures. So I think when they have somebody that's a little bit more celebrity, Saturday they didn't, but on Friday when I came in for Rebecca's run, they were checking your temperature at the door.
What did did they just hold like one of those temperature guns?
At your wrist.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like Joey Mack got himself an A card, an A boarding for the studio.
Well, it was his birthday. It was his birthday,
yeah.
So you get to be A if it's your birthday.
Yeah, they took care of him. Splash Zone.
Yeah. The splash zone. So that was kind of cool. All right, folks, We're going to go right into picks of the week, and I will start it off. So let's go with. The old lady has to put her glasses on. All right. We'll start off with Justin Thompson Rule's 30-minute Motown walk. This one dropped on Friday the 13th. And Dr. Devon, who is just so lovely, had recommended this. She said, such amazing vibes in this class. It was definitely one of those walks that you can just lose yourself in. Justin is fantastic when it comes to Motown music. Definitely an awesome one to do. I did that one too. And then Hannah Frankson's 30-minute intervals run, also from Friday. This one was recommended by Dippin' Dot 22, Bell's Jam, and Rosie Reich 712. They said her birthday intervals run so funny and so well programmed. Yeah, that's right. I guess that was her intervals one. And then lastly from me for this round was Kira Michelle. She did a 30-minute grounded slow flow, also from Friday the 13th. Amajar 3 said this class was super calming.
All right, and we next up from Jamie Winter 90 and Librarian Aaron. They submitted Rebecca's 30-minute Disney run from the 13th. They said, love the Disney content and music, plus her outfit. And then next up, Robin's 30-minute pop punk ride that we were just talking about with Joey Mack in the studio. From Miss Simon 21, Vicky Conroy, List 311, Kenzie King. They said incredible playlist and a guest appearance by Joey McIntyre. And then Callie Gullickson's 20-minute EDM hit cardio from the 14th. Got that from our friend Jason Denberg, Jason D, and Amar Jar 3. They said, great class, made me want to explore more hit classes as well.
Awesome. All right, Benny Adami's 30-minute English Tabata ride. Benny had been splashing that all over his social media, and it was one not to be missed. It was on the 15th, and Pandas Andy, my good friend Andy, as well as Art of Balance, had given this one a recommendation. They said this was an amazing class that gave Benny I'm not sure. This was an amazing class that gave Benny
everything Benny had promised.
Everything Benny had promised and more. Thank you. That it gave. Benny was on fire after returning from New York. The class started with a bang and didn't relent. The music was amazing. The structure was fun yet demanding, and the studio audience were loving it. The atmosphere was electric. So many people have said that this is now their favorite ride. One to do over and over. So anybody that can make a Tabata ride fun is Benny Adami. And I have not done it yet, but
he was messaging me. He was messaging me to take it. Which I haven't yet, but.
Yeah, all right. Maybe you and I can do it together because I would like to do it when I'm back on the bike. Yep, definitely. All right. And then Andy Spear had a 60-minute 2000s total strength, also from the 15th. There were tons of folks that picked this one too. So Erica Ligori, DNR Hume, Pick 'em Up, and Nikki's Nail Files all recommended it. They said, I have never been so sore after a workout before, and it's amazing. And then I guess this one came from both you and me, as well as Hey, It's Eric M. And this was Mariana's 30-minute focus flow from Saturday. It was a lower body yoga flow. And yeah, John Pruitt, thank you. The music playlist was absolutely incredible. Mariana made us very aware that it was collaborated with John Pruitt himself, and that Juan Pruitt was very much involved in making sure that this was a perfect playlist, and it really was, John. It was
all 80s flow. All 80s, great, great 80s vibe.
Absolutely. So if you guys, want, and it was just easy. It was beautiful flow. And I was honored to be there live in studio with her and being able to do it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Marcel Dinkins' 60-minute endurance run. 60 minutes of endurance. God, that sounds like torture. From the 15th, that's Iron Lion Zion. Gave us that. They said great playlist and great coaching. And then Allie Love's 30-minute country pop ride from the 15th as well. We received this from Danielle Bratcher. She said good playlist with members in the studio with her. And then next up, Jeffrey McEachern's 30-minute walk plus run in German from the 16th from our friend Bertha C. Runs MD. She said perfect pop playlist. The Cup song, Kylie, I assume that's the Cup song from that singing movie with Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect, yes.
Yeah,
Pitch
with the
Perfect.
actress from Up in the Air and Twilight. I can't remember her name now. She sings that song in the Pitch Perfect movie. She says, with easy to follow intervals and Jeffrey's infectious ebullience. Loved it. All right, so next up, we have Tunde's 30-minute Speak Up ride, which was from the 16th, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And we received a lot of submissions for this one, which I hear was an amazing class. It was an invitation class, a lot of folks from the VGM group, and one other one that escapes me right now. But Vicky Toria, Terry Johnson, 27861, Kate Hart, Lisa 95, CS Creations, Miss K Busby, and Caitlin Lack gave us this one. They said the ride was amazing. You could feel the energy in the studio through the screen. One of the best rides I have taken to date. Amazing messaging. Definitely, if you haven't taken this one, definitely take this, as I'm sure it was a powerful one from Toon Day, as a lot of her Speak Up rides typically are, where she gives, a really great message. And next up we have Cody's 30-minute pop from the 17th. We got this from I Teach Teens. They said, great ride with Cody as always. This one was Powerhouse Female Singers. And then I am going to take it to Camilla's 30-minute hike. This was my pick as well from the 17th. We also got this from Arrow 1 in the Knee, National 9, Dominici, Kat Canoli, DNA Gene MD, Sam Cush. Great class, some 80s vibes on this one, Amanda. I got a PR, so I was just going like hiking, going crazy with my my incline, pushing myself. But she had some really good tunes on there. She started off with a classic from my senior year in high school, Rusted Roots, Send Me On My Way. She had Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way. She had some Mumford & Sons, Phil Collins, Take Me Home. She even got some Air Supply in there, Making Love Out of Nothing at All. And then she closed it out to cool it back down the mountain with Toto's Africa. So a real good one. Highly recommend that hike. I'm really getting into the walks and the hikes a lot more on the tread as opposed to just doing lots of runs.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye for now, everybody.
Yeah. And from me here in Michigan, thank you for tuning in from all over. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.